So today we will cover the next topic, which is the Boltzmann canonical distribution law. So put the heading Boltzmann canonical distribution law. Distribution law. So we will use the two old equations. The one equation is that the number of particles in the system is capital N. So if we divide the N particles into various cells as N1, N2, N3 and so on, Ni, then we know that N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus so on plus Ni is equal to capital N, and this number is constant. So if we differentiate this equation, then we have d by N1 plus d by N2 plus d by Ni is equal to 0. And let us say this is equation number 1. Equation number 1. Then we have another constant, which is E1 N1 plus E2 N2 plus so on plus E3 N3 or EI. Let us write it as EINI. This is equal to the total energy of the system, and this total energy of the system is also constant. Therefore, if we differentiate this equation, then it will be E1 delta N1 plus E2 delta N2 plus so on plus EI into delta Ni, that is also 0. Equation number 2. Now while we differentiate this equation, then we should keep in mind that E1 is constant. N1 is not constant, but the energy corresponding to a given cell 1 is constant, and similarly E2 is constant, EI is constant. Therefore E1 can be taken outside the differential sign. So this is equation number 2. Now we have some thermodynamic probability for this system, some thermodynamic probability for this system, and that is omega E. So this thermodynamic probability means the distribution of the N particles into N1, N2 and so on Ni cells. Then what will be the probability? And this probability is defined as, it is N factorial divided by N1 factorial, then N2 factorial and so on. It will be Ni factorial. So this is the probability. Now take the log of both sides. Then log of omega. Log of omega is equal to log of N factorial minus log of N1 factorial minus log of N2 factorial and so on minus log of Ni factorial. Now because these numbers N, N1, N2 are very large number, therefore we can use the Stirling formula, and according to the Stirling formula, log N factorial is equal to N log N minus N. Similarly, this will be log N1 log N1 minus N1, and then we have minus Ni, a general term, Ni log Ni minus Ni. Now for the most probable state, or for most probable distribution, the deba of log omega should be 0. The first derivative of this should be 0. If we want that this probability is maximum, then the first derivative of omega should be 0. So either we write deba omega is equal to 0 or we write deba log omega is equal to 0. Both will give the same result, and therefore we will put deba log omega is equal to 0. So now let us differentiate this right hand side. So this right hand side on differentiation, the differentiation of the first factor n log n minus n. So this differentiation will be 0 because capital N is constant number. Therefore the differentiation of n log n minus n will be 0. So we will start our differentiation from the second term, and this will be differentiation of log omega. So this is equal to minus, and the first term n1 log n1. So this is the product of the two function n1 and log n1. So we will use the formula for the differentiation of the product of two functions. Differentiation of the product of two functions. So let us do that. So here we'll have n1 into differentiation of log of n1 plus into delta n1 plus log of n1 into delta n1, and then minus delta n1. So this is the first term, and in a similar way we will write the ith term. For ith term it will be minus, then ni into deba log of ni into delta ni plus log of ni delta ni and minus delta ni. So this is the general term. Now in this equation let us put the value of deba of log n1. So this is 1 upon n1 into delta n1 plus log of n1 into delta n1 minus delta n1, and then a general term will be similar term. A similar term will be here. So now in this case this n1 get cancelled with this n1, so we are left with delta n1 and then this minus delta n1, so this will also get cancelled, delta n1 and minus delta n1. So in general we have minus log of n1 into delta n1, and then we have many terms, and a general term will be minus log of ni into delta ni, and this will be equal to 0 because for the maximum probability delta log of omega is 0, and therefore this equation will give this is equal to 0, and this let this be as equation number 3. So this is equation number 3. So now we have the three equations, equation number 1, equation number 2 and equation number 3. On the right hand side of all these three equations we have 0, and all these three equations are independent equation, but we can combine this equation to a new equation. So let us combine all these three equations into a new equation. So we have one equation as the first equation, which is summation over I delta ni is equal to 0. This is equation number 1. And the second equation is summation over I ei into delta ni is equal to 0. This is equation number 2. And then we have the third equation, and the third equation is summation over I log ni into delta ni, log ni into delta ni, that is equal to 0. So in real equation it was minus, but because here it is 0, therefore we can omit minus here, and this is equal to 0. So this is equation number 3. So now we will form another equation using equation number 1, 2, 3. So we will write it as equation 3 plus some constant alpha into equation 1 plus some constant beta into equation 2. So we will form a new equation combining all these three equations. So let us write this, where alpha and beta are constant. Alpha and beta are constant. These are constants. So if when we combine, then we have summation over I log ni into delta ni plus alpha into summation over I delta ni plus beta into summation over I ei into delta ni, and this is equal to 0 because right hand side of all these three equations is 0. Therefore here again it will be 0. Now let us collect the coefficient of delta ni, because in each factor we have delta ni, delta ni, delta ni. Therefore we can write it as summation over I log ni plus alpha plus beta into summation over I ei, and all these within a bracket into delta ni is equal to 0. Now if we expand this equation, then it will give various terms, n1, n2, n3 and so on, and then we have the various terms like delta n1, delta n2, delta n3 and so on. Now this delta n1 is not 0, this delta n1 is not 0, delta n2 is not 0, and so on. Delta ni is equal to not 0. All these delta n1, delta n2, because these values can change. The particles may move from one cell to another cell. Therefore delta n1, delta n2, delta ni are not 0. Means n1, n2, n3 are not constant numbers. These numbers are variable numbers. The particles may move from one cell to another cell. Therefore these numbers are not constant, and therefore delta n1 is not equal to 0, and similarly for delta n2 and delta ni. Now if we expand these terms and in this equation, and in this equation if all these terms delta n1, delta n2, delta ni is not 0, it means that the coefficients, corresponding to each term is 0. It means that the coefficient corresponding to each term is 0. So we will put all the coefficients 0 for n is equal to 1, for n is equal to 2, and for a general term n is equal to I. So let us write it as a general term. For the general term, it is log summation over I, or don't write it here summation, I will write a general term, so don't use summation here. Each coefficient means the n1 term will be 0, n2 term will be 0, ni term will be 0. So now we will not use the summation, only the ith term, a general term. So log ni plus alpha plus beta into ei is equal to 0. Because delta ni is not 0, therefore this coefficient is 0, and therefore log ni is equal to minus alpha minus beta ei. So what will be ni? So ni is equal to e to the power minus alpha minus beta ei. Now this equation represents the Boltzmann canonical distribution law. So this is our result, what we wanted to derive, that is this expression Ni is equal to e to the power minus alpha minus beta Ei. So this equation represents that the number of the particles in a cell having the energy Ei. So what will be the number of particles having the energy in the cell having energy Ei? That number is given by this expression, and this expression is known as Boltzmann canonical distribution law. Now, if we can do some manipulation here, because this alpha is constant, so e power minus alpha is also a constant, therefore we can write it as e to the power minus alpha as a new constant a, capital A, e to the power minus beta Ei. So here Ni is equal to a e to the power minus beta Ei. In this expression, a is a constant, capital A is constant, and beta is also constant. And this represents the canonical distribution, Boltzmann canonical distribution law. Now suppose if we have zone of cells. Zone of cells means, suppose we have different cells. These are different cells. These are different cells in any distribution. And here the energy is Ei, here the E1, let us say E1, and here the energy is E2, and here the energy is E3. So what we see here, we see that 4 cells have the energy E1, and here the 3 cells have the energy E2, and 2 cells have the energy E3. So if we combine all these cells which have the same energy, then we can term is as a zone of cell. Zone of cell with the energy Ei. So if such is the case, then a number of cells in the zone represented by the energy Ei is equal to Gi. So here the value of Gi is 4. For this zone the value of Gi is 4, and for this zone the value of Gi is 3, and for this zone the value of Gi is 2. So in such case we can write Ni means it is the number of particles in the zone. Number of particles in the zone, not in the cell. Number of particles in the zone, because we have combined many cells of the similar energy into a zone. So Ni is equal to now Gi multiplied by e to the power minus alpha minus, instead of e to the power minus alpha we can write capital A. So in next step I will write this into beta Ei, or this is equal to Gi into capital A e to the power minus beta Ei. So this is the expression, the similar expression representing the number of particles in the zone having the energy Ei, and this zone has the number of cells Gi. Now this Gi is known as priori probability. But generally we use this distribution, means the number of cells, number of particles in the cell. So in further discussion we will use the discussion of the cell, not of the zone. So we have a distribution function which is the canonical distribution law or canonical distribution function, and that is given by Ni is equal to capital A, which is constant, e to the power minus beta Ei. This is the distribution law. In this distribution law, if we plot a curve, then we see that on the x-axis let us represent the energy increasing in the positive direction, and then number of particle Ni increasing in the positive direction. So this is the exponentially decay function. So it will look like this. So it means that the number of particles will be less in the cells having higher energy, and the number of particles will be maximum for the cell having energy 0. So this is the distribution function. Now in this distribution function we have two constants. One constant is capital A and the constant is beta. We have discussed something about the beta in the last lecture. Now we will see that this beta is the same thing which we have already derived, but we will derive it again in a different way. So now we have to move towards the evaluation of constant A. Evaluation of constant A. Constant A. So let us evaluate this. So we have Ni is equal to capital A into e to the power minus beta Ei. So take the summation. So it will be summation over Ni, which is equal to A, because A is constant, so it will be outside summation. Then summation over I e to the power minus beta Ei. Now this function or this term, which is summation over I e to the power minus beta Ei, this is represented as capital Z, and this is known as the partition function. This is a new term which is the partition function. Partition function means how the energy is divided into various cells, so that this factor will give that how the energy is divided into the different cells. Therefore this term is known as the partition function. And what is summation over Ni? Summation over Ni is the capital N. So now we will write it as capital N is equal to A into Z, where Z is the partition function. So capital A, which is a constant, that is equal to N divided by Z. So this is the value of the constant A. A is equal to N by Z. Now go for the evaluation of constant B. Evaluation of constant B. So put the heading evaluation of constant, not B, it is beta, constant beta. So for this we will assume that some energy delta E is supplied to the system. So delta is not constant, but some energy delta E is supplied to the system. And because some energy is supplied, therefore there will be change in the entropy also. So we will start with the relation of the entropy and probability, and that is S is equal to K log omega. So this is the relation which we already know, and we have derived this relation yesterday. So S is equal to K log omega. Now we will put the value of omega, which is n factorial upon n1 factorial and so on. Then we will take the log of that and apply the Stirling formula. So all this we have already done, and then write it as delta S is equal to K into delta log omega. So in the previous slide I have already calculated what will be the value of delta log omega. So let us use the same value here, and if we use the same value here, then we have the relation as minus, this value will be K into delta log omega is minus with a negative sign. It is minus summation over I log Ni into delta Ni. So this is the value. This we have already calculated in the previous page. So let us use this value. Now this will be minus K, and we have the value of Ni. Here we have the value of Ni, which is equal to, let us write it as A into e to the power minus beta Ei. So what will be log Ni? What will be log Ni? Log Ni is equal to log of A into e to the power minus beta Ei. So log of two factors, and therefore this will be written as log of a plus log of e to the power minus beta ei. So log of e to the power minus beta I, either here it is log and here it is exponential, so it will get cancelled and we are left with minus beta ei. So it is now minus k into summation over I into log a plus minus beta ei, and this whole multiplied by delta ni. So now separate the two terms. Minus k into summation over I has no meaning here on the log a, so it will be simply minus log a because this is constant, minus k into log a, and then we have minus minus plus into beta into k, and then it will be summation over I into ei delta ni, summation over I e into delta ni. So in this case, delta s is equal to, and when we take the log of this factor, then this factor will be 0. When we take the log of this factor, this will be 0. So delta s is equal to beta k, and this factor summation over I ei ni, this is the deba e, this is deba e using equation number 2. But in equation number 2 we have put deba e is equal to 0, but here we have assumed that some energy deba e is supplied, therefore this will not be 0 and we will put it as deba e. So now delta s is equal to k into beta and then delta e. Delta s is equal to k beta into delta e. So we have one more relation from the thermodynamics, and that relation is that deba s by deba e. We have relation deba s by deba e is equal to 1 by 2. So now we will use this relation here, and it is deba s by deba e is equal to beta k, and that is equal to 1 by t. So again we get that beta is equal to 1 upon kt, the same relation. Beta is equal to 1 upon kt, or 1 by beta is equal to kt. 1 by beta is equal to kt. So we get the same value for the beta as we have already derived this. Now go to next page. Now again come to the distribution function. Ni is equal to capital A and then e to the power minus ei. Instead of beta, now we will write ei by kt. Instead of beta, now we will write beta is equal to 1 upon kt. So this is the distribution function. Now the probability for this distribution function is equal to the number of particles having the energy ei divided by the total number of the particles. So this is equal to A into e to the power minus ei by kt, and then this divided by capital M. And what is the value of A? This we have already derived. Value of A is equal to n by z. So let us substitute that value, n by z, and then this n into n, and then the distribution function e to the power minus ei by kt, e to the power minus ei by kt. So n and n get cancelled and we are left with e to the power minus ei by kt and divided by z. Divided by z. Z means it is the summation over I e to the power minus ei by kt. Ei by kt. So this is the probability function. for having energy E. And we can also write the probability function as EEI is equal to some constant, because this A is constant and N is also constant. Therefore, we can write it as some constant C into e to the power minus EI by KT. So this is also a relation, that probability function is equal given by C into e to the power minus EI by KT. Now, so this is the complete derivation for the Boltzmann canonical distribution law. Now, if you have any query or doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we will proceed to the two questions on this. Let us go to the previous page. In this previous page, there is one more term. That term, when we have separated these two terms, then delta Ni will be multiplied here also. So here it will be k log minus k log A into delta Ni summation over I, and summation over I delta Ni is equal to 0 using equation number 1. Therefore, this term will be 0. This term will be 0, and we have to move further with only the second term. And using the second term, we have the relation 1 by beta is equal to KT. And now go to the next term, next page, which is the question number 1. Now, note down this question into your notebook. And the question says that two states with energy difference 4.83 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule occur with relative probability E square. Two states with energy difference 4.83 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule occur with relative probability E square. Calculate the temperature, and given that K is equal to 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 joule per Kelvin. So the K is the Boltzmann constant, which has the constant value equal to 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23. So let us proceed to this. And first we will write the probability of the having energy E1. Probability having energy E1. And that probability is equal to some constant C into e to the power minus E1 by KT. In a similar way, we have the probability having energy E2 is equal to C into e to the power minus E2 by KT. Now, what will be the relative probability? Relative probability means P1 E1 divided by P2 and E2, P2 into E2. So this will be C e to the power minus E1 by KT, and then divided by C into e to the power minus E2 by KT. Now C get cancelled, and then we have e to the power minus E1 minus E2 and divided by KT. And the difference is given in the question. The difference is 4.83 into 10 to the power minus 21. So we have given the value that E1 minus E2 is equal to 4.83 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule. This value is given. And it is also given that the relative probability is E square. Relative probability is E square. Relative probability is E square. So we will equate these two terms, and this will become E2 minus E1. So here, because it is not given that which is more, E1 is more or E2 is more, so we can also write it as E2 minus E1 is equal to same thing, which is equal to E square. So now let us equate the power, and then we have E2 minus E1 divided by KT is equal to 2. So what will be the value of T? Calculate the temperature. So we have to calculate the temperature. Temperature is equal to E2 minus E1 divided by 2K and the E2 minus E1 is 4.83 into 10 to the power minus 21 and then divided by 2 into value of K. Value of K is 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23. So now what will be the answer? Switch on your mic and tell the answer. Calculate this 10 to the power minus 23 and 10 to the power minus 21. So many things will get cancelled. Anyone? This will be 175 Kelvin. This will be 175 Kelvin. So this is the answer, 175 Kelvin. Now let us go for one more question. And note down the question in your notebook. The question is, a system can take only 3 different energy states. E1 is equal to 0, E2 is equal to 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule, E3 is equal to 2.76 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule. A system can take only 3 different energy states. E1 is equal to 0, E2 is equal to 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule, E3 is equal to 2.76 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule. These 3 states can occur in 2, 5, 4 different ways respectively. Find the probability that at temperature 100 Kelvin, the system may be in one of the microstates of energy E3 and in the ground state E1. So what the question is saying, it is saying that there are 3 different cells. The cell 1 has the energy E1 which is equal to 0. Then cell 2 has the energy E2 and this energy is given as 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule. And then cell 3, it has the energy E3 which is equal to 2.76 into 10 to the power minus 21 joule. And it is also given that these cells have the number of microstates as 2. Here the number of microstates means omega is equal to 2 and here the omega is 5 and here the omega is 4. So this is also given. Now we have to calculate the probability. Having energy E3 and then we have to calculate the probability having energy E1, the ground state, when the energy is 0. So what will be the probability? This we have to calculate. So let us write the probability as P1 is equal to some constant C into e to the power minus E1 upon KT, E1 by KT. And because E1 is equal to 0, so it will be e to the power 0. E to the power 0 means 1. So it is simply C. Then P2. P2 is equal to constant C, then e to the power minus E2 by KT. So C into e to the power value of E2. Value of E2 is minus 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 21 and divided by KT. K is again 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 and the temperature is 100. Temperature is given as perhaps it is 100. It was written somewhere. Yes, temperature 100K. So multiplied by 100. Multiplied by 100. So what will be this value? These two get cancelled because this 100 will make it 10 to the power minus 21. So it will be C e to the power minus 1. C e to the power minus 1. And then P3. P3. P3 is equal to C into e to the power minus E3 divided by KT. Then this is C, the value of E3. Value of E3 is minus 2.76 into 10 to the power minus 21, and then divided by the value of KT, which is 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 into 100. And if you do this calculation, then you will get C e to the power minus 2. E to the power minus 2. C e to the power minus 2. Now this P1 states has the microstates 2, and P2 has microstate 5, and the P3 has microstate 4. Therefore, P1 will be actually, it will be 2C. 2C, this is C, 2C, and then P2 will be equal to 5 times C e to the power minus 2, and P3 will be equal to 4 times, it is minus 1, and then C e to the power minus 2. Then we have the condition that the total probability P1 plus P2 plus P3 should be equal to 0. So let us put this condition. So if we put this condition, then we will have 2C plus 5C by E, 5C upon E, 5C upon E plus 4C upon E square. This is equal to 1. So we can calculate this because the value of E is equal to 2.72. The value of E is equal to 2.72. So if we calculate this, then we will have the value of C, and this will come as 1 upon 4.38. 1 upon 4.38. So now because we have the value of C, therefore we can calculate this P3. We can calculate this P3 because P3 is equal to 4 C e to the power minus 2. We can put the value of C here and then value of E, and then this will come out as 0.12. And similarly we can calculate P1. So this P1 is equal to 2C. So this is very simple. 2C, substitute the value of C, and then you will get 0.45. So this is the answer. So the questions which are based, these two questions are based on the Boltzmann canonical distribution law. So in a similar way, you can proceed for the more numericals.